In this video, we're diving into the basics of loops, what they are, and how they work behind the scenes. This is a key topic, so I've split it into 5 short parts to make it easier to follow. Just a heads up, I originally recorded this as one full video, so there might be a few abrupt cuts here and there. Thanks for understanding. Hi, in this video, we are going to be looking into loops. Let's say in our start function, we have created the logic. Let's say find the player, chase the player, and then destroy the player's existence. But what if we had to do that multiple times? Let's say we have to do this 5 times. What is the best way to do it? The best way to do it would be to copy paste this 4 more times. And honestly, that is the best way to do it. Because we're doing what we want 5 times exactly. And for the computer, it doesn't really matter. But what is the problem with this approach? The problem with this approach is the lack of flexibility. What if later we want to do this logic, let's say 1,000 times? Are we going to copy paste this 1,000 times? Heck no. Which is why we need to rely on certain statements that control the flow of execution, which is loops in this case. All a loop is certain lines of code that can be run over and over again based off a condition. As long as this condition is true, this code will keep on running again and again and again. Again! How many of you play Marvel Rivals out there? This is what a loop is all about. We will be looking at 3 different types of loops: for loop, while loop, and the do while loop. There's also a for each loop, but we'll look at that later when we have the need to look into it. Now, before we get into how to define each loops, it's important to understand how it works. How can we execute code again and again and again? We can jump. That's sort of like an official terminology, I believe. We can use jump instructions, and the compiler does it automatically, where it just controls the flow of execution and then jumps back to a certain point of time. That is essentially how loops work. Okay, this is how loops work under the hood. Okay, there's a set of jump instructions that's built at the very basic level of C#, which we don't have to look into. Okay, but how do we control how this jumping works? Well, we need memory, also variables. We need to control how and when this jumping takes place by giving it a set of conditions, and for conditions to be evaluated, we need to play around with memory. Okay, this is how loops technically work under the hood. I just wanted to show you guys so that we understand why we are writing things this way. Okay, the only thing you need to focus on right now is the memory bit. You can completely forget about this jumping mechanic, but I just wanted to show you, like, this is how it is. Okay, you don't have any use for it right now, but we need to understand that memory is manipulated to control when and how the jumping takes place. Okay, now let's look at each loop one by one. In the next video, we'll talk about for loops. I will see you there.